Kenny's Yacht Maintenance. Welcome back. Today I'm gonna be stripping those pieces for a companionway of a sailboat and prepping it, and I'm gonna be using this product for my sealer. This product is a new product sent to me by a company named MultiWoodPrime. It's an epoxy product, part A, part B, and I'm gonna be trying it out as my sealer to seal the wood after prepping it. So the first step is to strip up the old finish on this thing, and I'm gonna be using a heat gun. Gonna put a dust mask on. Well, okay, now that the wood is stripped, we're gonna be using a chemical stripper to remove all the old finish from the grain and to get the wood nice and clean again. So I got some chemical stripper here in this can. Not sure what brand it is, but there's lots of different brands you could get from the Home Depot or from your hardware store, marine store. Any chemical stripper for paint or varnish will work. It's important to use gloves for the smell. Some of them barely have any smell. Some of this chemical stripper does have a smell, so you want to use at least an N95. If you're working indoors, definitely use a respirator. Good pause. Now we apply the chemical stripper on there. I'm going to be using a bronze wool. Bronze wool you could get from the hardware store. Those are basically bronze wool for the kitchen, and they work just as good. Or you could pick it up at the hardware store, Ace, Home Depot, any one of the stores. And you're gonna just keep your N95 on, your gloves on. It's important to go with the grain of the wood, just as if you were sanding the wood. You follow the grain. So the grain is running in that direction. And then I would go that direction for the side pieces. And then what I like to do is I use a hose in cases where you've got small pieces like this. Using a hose does help because it helps remove the chemical from the wood. Also, by doing this, the wood is almost pre-sanded already. Makes sanding much easier. So this piece, I just got to let it dry, and then I will use a 80 grit sandpaper and then a 120 grit sandpaper, and after that it will be ready for the sealer. Those pieces already prepped with the paint stripper and bronze wool. I just got to sand them with a 80 grit sandpaper and then 120 grit sandpaper, following the grain. Always sand with the grain. Do not go cross grain, otherwise you're gonna see all the scratches, and then it will be ready for sealer. So until then, we're gonna pause for now and then show you the results when I'm ready to apply the sealer. Again, I'm gonna be using this new product called MultiWoodPrime. It's a clay epoxy sealer, and basically it's part A, part B. You mix 50-50 and you apply it to the wood, and it should do the job, and then you build up your coats of varnish for your finish. Until then, we will catch up where we left out. Kenny's Yacht Maintenance. Okay, we are back with the pieces for the companionway for the sailboat, and we had them stripped, cleaned with paint stripper. Now I'm gonna demonstrate the proper way to sand the wood before applying the sealer. So we're gonna use 80 grit sandpaper. We're gonna start with 80 grit sandpaper, and it's important not to go across the grains. So we're gonna sand with the grains. So what I like to do is put a piece of tape so I don't cross the grain and you don't get scratches. If you get scratches in the cross grain, it's gonna show up in the finish, so we don't want to get that. So it's pretty much sanded already. I'm just doing a demonstration. Then we use the 120 grit sandpaper. So we start with 80 grit sandpaper, then we go with 120 grit sandpaper. Going with the grain. Then you can remove that tape line Remove that tape line and you go with the grain now. So that would remove any crust, any scratches that goes the other direction, that would remove it. And after 80 plus 120, it's good, ready to be cleaned. It's cleaned. Now we're ready to mix up the stuff. So we're using this MultiWood sealer, primer sealer. It's 1 to 1. The mixture is 1 part of A to 1 part B. Equal parts. So I mix 2, so I go to 4. Then you stir. Make sure to cover the container. So most epoxy, a lot of epoxy products, you have an induction time that you're gonna let it sit for 15 minutes. This is my first time using this product, and the direction didn't call for any induction time. So I'm just gonna lay it on. I use a disposable brush, and there's nothing fancy about applying sealer. It's liquidy, really runny, and it's just gonna penetrate the wood and seal the wood. You just do this one. So I will give all those one coat and then go over them with a second coat of sealer. And after that, it's ready to be sanded to apply my finish coats, my build-up coats. In this case, I'm gonna be using Epiphanes varnish for my build-up coats. And I kind of like how this thing is going on, because it's gonna be unlike the traditional sealer, which is oil-based. This is an epoxy-based sealer. So it's gonna really seal all that bare wood, and it's a harder surface. It's gonna become a harder surface. That's my first time using this product, but I must say I like it already. I will flip them over, do the other side, and then I will go over it with a second coat. So we'll come back and show the results, but so far I like the product. Today is the day after. I did 2 coats of the sealer on those pieces yesterday, and I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with them. The grain is almost filled already, so by the time I put a few coats of varnish on, it's gonna be look like glass, you know. So MultiWoodPrime, I'm gonna start using this product. I will come back with the results of when I get a few coats on. So I'm using 240 grits on paper, and sanding this thing. Just a light sand just to get some abrasion here. And I must say, it sands really good. Again, you sand with the grain using a rag so you could wipe and see if you got any shiny spots, and then you just go with the grain. Don't recommend using a sander, electrical sander, because a sander may take off too much. You got a little more control when you sand by hand. There are times where you need a sander, but stuff like that, Really don't need a sander for that. A lot of people think you use a sander, you get the job done faster, but a lot of times you take 2 steps backward when you do that. So, and that's it. This piece is ready for varnish. So on the next stage I will be applying varnish. So again, I'm using this product that I'm gonna start using for doing all my sealer work when I'm doing any bright work vanishing. And I got this thing from a company. This is the information right here. Smith's company. So yeah, look up those guys. Smith's and Company. So if you're in the marine business, yacht refinishing business, I think this is a good product. I'm happy with it so far. First time using it, but the results look good. The grain are already filled. By the time I put about 3 coats, 4 coats on this thing, it might be finished. Welcome back, Kenny's Yacht Maintenance. This is the finished product after stripping those companion waist slides and only giving this 2 coats of the MultiWoodPrime as the sealer, and then 4 build-up coats of all spa varnish, and then I like to finish 1 finish coat with Epiphanes varnish, and I'm very satisfied. I mean, this is just basically 5 coats. 5 coats of finish on this thing. 5 coats. So overall, first time using this product, part A, part B, 1-to-1 mixture, and you use it for sealing. After prepping the wood, the first coat you apply would be the sealer, and that would penetrate the bare wood, and after that you would sand and apply your build-up coats. I like using Allspa for my build-up coats because it dries pretty fast, and you could put 2 coats in a day, and then sand and apply 2 more coats. And I like finishing with Epiphanes just because it's a very good marine varnish, and it has a really good gloss and good UV protection. There's other varnishes you could use. I mean, you could put All Bright over this thing. All Bright is made by All Grip, and it's 2-to-1 mixture. All Bright can be used. Also, you could use Bristol Finish. Bristol Finish can be used as well. It's a 2-part product just as well. This is the converter. This is the base. And the mixture to Bristol Finish is 8 parts of the base to 1 part of the converter. You could finish with Captain's Varnish. This is a single part varnish, and most times if you're a very good brush guy, you could put it straight from the can, or add 5-7% brushing liquid. You could also use 216 thinner for faster drying. Other than that, if somebody wants to do a project, refinish your table, refinish your chair, and you want to do it yourself, first of all, I will say hire a professional. to do the job. The professional will come with all the tool and all the expertise to get the job done right. But you want to try a thing, do your own little vanishing. A lot of times you prep the wood just as we demonstrated on the video, or proper prepping, and then you could use 50-50 varnish 1-to-1 and make your own sealer. A lot of times I do that. Whichever varnish you have, it could be Epiphane's varnish, it could be Captain's varnish. You pour some varnish, 1 part of varnish to 1 part of any one of those thinners will work. 333, 216 interlocks, or even mineral spirit, 50-50. And after prepping the wood, you use that as your sealer. And then you build up your coats. And this is the finish. So, until then, Kenny's Yacht Maintenance, working smarter and not harder. Keep on keeping on.